I feel like our intro should reassure everyone who might be worried about the gender politics of this episode just right off the bat.
Oh, don't worry.
Don't worry, but here we'll also demonstrate that with this.
Okay.
So, Paul, what's one thing that only women can do that you'd like to receive dangerous drug therapy to do?
Being a bloke's pretty easy, Paul.
It's pretty straightforward, really. It's not always easy, but the rules are very clear. Smash this, try and fuck that, everything else, eat.
I would like to wax my entire body, Paul, and I need dangerous drug therapy in order to do that. I prefer
to have the courage.
Ecstasy.
I mean, acid might get you closer. You might just come to and find that it happened somehow, along with 5 other things that you weren't expecting.
Yeah. Oh no, Paul! Step away from that wax. Step away from that hot wax.
It's the last time I get in several. Okay, tabs of acid.
Tabs, microdots. What do you want? I've got them.
Okay. That wasn't so bad. What do you want, mate? I'll get you anything. I mean, I quite like the ability to see a woman, just like a woman, and not have to seduce them. You know,
not have. Yeah,
just once,
but
I have to.
But you can't help that, and that's not a comment on your nature. That's a comment on your extreme good looks
and natural charisma. I know it's really frustrating to me, and I'm just losing out hand over fist in terms of chocolates and bunches of flowers.
Yeah, you're just hemorrhaging money, mate. Hemorrhaging money and also cum. And you've got to keep that because you've only got so much. It's finite.
I need to save some of the money for the plasma transfusions.
So is that gender politics nicely wrapped up there, Paul?
Absolutely. Welcome to One Good Thing, a podcast that has far too sensitive nipples. You know, I've actually had some really lovely people attempt to use mine during fun times, and it's just never been pleasant for me.
Really? I'm a big fan of Nipple Time.
Nipple
Town.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much, too intense.
Nipple Town.
Yeah, it's like being tickled.
Population.
Nipple Town.
Population teeth.
This guy. Who's got 2 nipples and loves Nipple Town. Get out of this library.
Why, the population of Nipple Town, madam?
I'm Paul, keep it below the belt. Oh, fuck.
I'm Body My Choice.
And as we bid farewell to any new listeners and a couple of old ones, every time you fucking move, Danny DeVito lunges into frame, my friend.
Yes, for the listeners at home, I've realised that Skype allows me to choose my own background. And I've opted this week, topically, for...
Opted.
Yeah. Screen grab from the hit movie Junior.
For the connoisseur of Skype backgrounds.
Oh, God. See, yeah.
Yeah, there it goes.
I move my face and the camera disappears, the mic disappears. And
yeah, it is replaced by Danny DeVito's gormless face.
Ah, beautiful man. Beautiful, charming man.
I look forward to this interesting new dynamic to our podcast, which will suddenly become a lot edgier, I assure all of you.
It's been too easy, Paul, the last 4 years.
We haven't had nearly enough lunging. Oh, Christ. All right, well, as I try and contain myself, we are waiting for the 2020s to warm up. In terms of shit movies, that is. In terms of climate, it's heating up at a terrifying speed.
Oh, gosh,
So we are going to revisit some of the worst received movies of the previous 3 decades.
Oof.
Starting with the 1990s, what were they thinking of on Junior?
Yeah.
It's impossible, it's not natural, and I'm not interested.
I took you for a scientist.
I am a scientist.
Yeah? Well, where's your vision? Opportunity's knocking here.
You're just trying to manipulate me.
Yes, I am. So what? We're on the verge of something fantastic, and I need you to carry it through with me.
What's going on?
Can you keep an open mind? I mean, really wide open.
You may be crazy, but you're also pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
Hey!
I'm looking forward to the conversation about this, Paul.
The 1994 comedy sci-fi, I guess?
I guess so.
Directed by Ivan Reitman.
Yes.
Director of Ghostbusters, but also Ghostbusters 2. So.
Yeah. And many other things.
Produced Space Jam, though.
Well, there you go. I looked up his directing history on IMDb and went, oh, Ghostbusters. Oh, Junior, yeah. Twins. Ghostbusters 2.
Yep.
What are these? 15 other movies I've never heard of.
Yeah, you're okay. You got the main ones. Ghostbusters. It's the main one.
The main ones.
Oh, Christ. Well, look, critics reacted to the film like a baby with their face kind of on it. Which is to say that some of them were kind of into it. Brap, brap! Roger Ebert at Chicago Sun-Times.
Oh, fuck. It reminds me of the time I met Roger Ebert.
I've been waiting to do that for fucking months, man. I came up with that months ago. And every week I check to see if Roger Ebert reviewed the film we're covering, and this is the first time since, like, Home Alone 2.
Oh, what a fucking tragedy, Paul, your life is. But I mean
it's
that
really been just a struggle.
because you've had to wait so long to have such incredible beauty in your life.
Well, speaking of incredible beauty, Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 stars out of 4 and said, "A lot of actors can hold big machine guns and stand convincingly in front of special effects and explosions. All of them. But not many can stand in front of a camera and be 9 months pregnant and actually make us care." Oh, Ebert don't give a fuck about most pregnant people. You expect to be pregnant and make me care? Good luck. He's already in his SUV, riding him down.
You're just lucky we're not in front of a flight of stairs. All right, Roger Ebert, mad
Because
dog.
I've got a gun. What is the...
Well, stairs make me horny.
When I'm horny, I shoot Mr. Happy. So, audiences, meanwhile, honestly seem to really like it. Maya Belize over at Google said,
Oh, yeah.
"Sometimes I just think about this movie and how weird it was. I get confused on how it works, but that's okay because I really enjoyed it. It leaves you thinking." Oh wait, that's my review of Tenet.
You just like to keep that open from time to time. Flip it back.
It gives me strength. It gets into the wackiest situations.
Ooh.
Well, lots of great Tumen with connections to all our 90s classics like
Fuck
Showgirls, Mario Brothers, Steel, and Little Man.
Ooh, that's good.
Top quality cast. But we do have two three-men, and it's a couple of big uns. We've got Emma Thompson, name the movies.
This one, Junior.
Yep, correct.
She was in...
Very recent ones.
Now, she wasn't in Love, Weddings and Other Disasters.
No, sorry, when I say recent, I mean recently released movies, not recently covered by us. Although, obviously, by extension, we're not a time-travelling podcast, so they are somewhat similar concepts.
No, we've tried to be, but we're just not. And I'm starting to accept that now.
We can travel forwards. That's super easy. We're doing that very well.
Oh, God, yeah.
Nobody seems that impressed. Do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Men in Black International.
Oh, yes, that's it.
And she voiced some fucking thing in Doolittle.
Oh, great. Yes, she did, of course. I couldn't get Artemis Fowl out of my head, but I had her as whatever her name is.
Josh Gad.
MIB. Yeah. It was when she played Josh Gad.
God, she's good. Yeah, and Arnie himself. Arnie!
Oh,
What does
Arnie?
it?
Yeah. He was in Junior, and he was in...
Yeah.
Give me a fucking sec.
All right, calm down, everyone.
Why can't I remember what they were in?
Sean brought us one of them.
Oh, fucking Hercules. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Hercules. Hercules.
I am Hercules.
I'm Hercules.
And
a rare turn as the villain.
Oh, Batman. Bloody.
Yeah, it's Batman. Well, get in the bin, both of you.
Oh, free to a man, free in the bush, free, yo. Films are shit, mate.
The film has 36% on Rotten Tomatoes, 59% on Metacritic,
Oh.
so only 36 of the reviews can be said to be positive, but it averaged at 3 out of 5 stars. Okay.
3-star movie. That's about right.
That's good maths. And it made a modest profit over the production budget, and so probably lost a little money.
Oh.
So, Paul, you stiffen.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, that was the thing. What's one thing about Ivan Reitman's Jr. that made you want to shove a child up you?
Danny DeVito, Paul. He's always charming.
It was
I
charming.
find. He's always
Even
charming.
when he's trying to stick you with a baby.
Yeah, especially when
literally-
he's doing that. Hey,
I mean, you've got to be charming at that stage.
What are you doing with that syringe, Danny? Oh, you got me.
Wait a
Almost-
minute.
Almost baby time.
Danny!
Whoa.
How long has this been going on? I got you 8 months ago. Oh, fuck.
Danny?
Going skiing next month. Not anymore. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
You chase him around the fucking room. Gets less wacky, though, when you just choke the life out of him when you catch him. Let's fucking murder him.
Just punch his face through.
A la LA Confidential. Not quite. I had the unrated cut of LA Confidential when they spent 12 minutes beating Danny DeVito to death.
The Paul Salt cut. How did
I don't
you
like
get
it.
and make that?
20% slow motion. Oh, Christ. All right. Well, this movie, for me, on Amazon Prime, began with a warning: sex-related humour.
Okay.
Gotta get that out of the way. Yeah, sex-related.
When a mummy and daddy love each other very much, a mummy gets a baby in her tummy, and there are some jokes around that, and you should be ashamed and cover your ears.
I
Timmy.
found a pair of ladies' underwear in Timmy's bedroom. I think it's time that you need to show him Junior.
And he has to watch it 50 times until he never wants anything to do with sex ever again.
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you don't have sex. DeVito's coming in.
And he's got a wife.
His ways. He's got a wife. It's horrendous.
And she's pregnant, which is great news.
She is. Well, we go straight in with all of the sex jokes that this has, because Arnie dreams of a baby that pees all over him.
Oh,
the legitimate first joke of the movie.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I can get behind that. I've observed this.
They had a writing team behind that.
But you're right, DeVito has problems because Mum from B in the movie is about to become Mum from Junior.
Oh, God.
It's his ex-wife. She's been knocked up. And it's
at the Aerosmith tour, she said.
The Aerosmith tour, which is a really bad time for him to learn this, because Arnie and the Penguin give a speech to Nixon and his board of executives, who are obvious bad guys. Look, there's a woman with short hair. Ugh.
Oh, gross. No, thank you.
No, thank you. These two are trying to sell a drug that makes it less likely that someone will have a miscarriage.
Yeah.
I can't remember how, but that's what it does.
It
stops the body from rejecting the embryo.
Drink enough Gatorade. You'll be right. The electrolytes sort of hold it in place.
Presumably it's the opposite of Gatorade. Your body's too tough. It's naturally resisting the horrific premise of becoming a parent. It's what nature ordained.
Yeah.
And your body will do everything possible to try and deprive you of that horrifying situation. And this is a drug that will make your body shitter at fighting off the infection that is being with child.
It's like beer.
I may have a bias. But I'm pretty sure this is what Wikipedia says about childbirth.
Yeah. Well, if we ever figure out what that bias is, Paul, I'm sure we can talk it through. So, so they're hell-bent on making everybody insane.
Pregnant.
Insane with the curse of childbirth. And
you want to get everyone pregnant.
And yes, Frank Langella is there as Nixon. He's very tall. He's wearing a bow tie. He's a smart-looking asshole.
Fuck yeah.
Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, we respectfully request the board's approval to carry on into an invasive human protocol. Thank you.
You gotta let us try this on real women. Women in need. Our sisters. Our daughters.
Dr. Arbogast.
If you could see the couples that come into my office, their pain and frustration is genuine.
Dr. Arbogast, this is an FDA hearing, not a telethon.
And so they go off. They've got some time to kill before they find out what the decision from the FDA is.
But oh shit, Emma Thompson's here.
Oh,
she's all klutzy.
She's super klutzy. It's ridiculous.
I need you to be extremely careful with this.
Oh, lady, if I hear that one more time out of you.
It's very fragile. She's got to set the level for the incliners.
Hey, don't touch
You really shouldn't even be...
No, stop! Help me! Help me! Help me now!
There you go, kids who have been brought to this movie. A pee joke and a klutzy woman. Stay quiet.
Get it? She should be ashamed of herself, Paul. She's a gross joke.
It's nothing a sufficiently determined penis won't solve for her later on. So we can all look forward to that.
When Paul McGann shows up with a penis shaped like a sword.
A penis shaped like a sword. Ah, the crossbars. Ah. It's the worst thing I've ever beheld.
What's the message here?
Thanks, Paul McGann. Yeah, they're at the airport, right? And they're arguing because...
Well, they got turned down by the FDA.
Oh, they got turned down by the FDA. Yeah.
And Arnie's leaving.
He's leaving. He's getting out there.
Yeah.
And he says, look, we'd never get a pregnant woman to agree to take an unlicensed drug during her pregnancy term. And he says, that's fine. Don't worry about it. All we need to do is convince a man to get a fertilized egg lodged in his taint.
Why the taint?
What size taint do you have? Big? I swear they used the word perineum at some point. I couldn't find it in the script afterwards, but I could have sworn they said they would lodge it into the perineum, and then later on they're just sticking him in the gut.
Mr. Salt, we have evidence here that you have trawled script databases and searched every movie you've ever seen for the word perineum.
Paul, you keep Googling junior perineum. We need you to go to prison. Voluntarily, please. We don't have time for a lawsuit.
For the country's sake, for the people, you must do a prison.
Please go to prison.
Who says we need a woman?
You mean to do the test on a man?
Why not? Are you allergic to anything?
To me?
So
Yeah. Arnie agrees.
Yeah, he agrees, but only if it goes right up the perineum, he says. If you can put it right down the fuckhole.
Right down his fuckhole.
Yeah.
So DeVito steals Thompson's title drop. Oh, she's got cheese in her face. Bear with us, kids. We've got some great stuff coming. And then, yeah, they get to the process.
Yeah, they do it. Danny DeVito gets out his turkey baster, sticks Arnie with the curse of life.
It's Arnie's sperm, right, that they've then mixed in with this egg they've stolen.
Yeah.
And during the surgery, he's like, where did you get that egg? The egg? Yeah, you know, the human embryo that you're sticking inside of me. I mean, you've waited this long into the process before asking that. Do you really care? No, fuck it, mate.
I mean, kind of. I trusted you for some reason, and here we are. Anyway, spooge, says Danny.
Then it's time for Arnie to have a dream.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I realise now where Twilight had the idea.
Inspiration.
But the difference being Twilight went, yeah, this seems pretty fine.
I mean, compared to their plan B, you forget about the truly horrific plan A that they had.
I do, actually. What was it?
It was a fucking horrifying doll that they had made that had hair and was just the worst thing you've ever seen in your life.
That's true.
And plan B was terrifying CGI. Plan C was real baby, but fortunately they never got that far.
Jesus Christ. I cannot stress this enough. Real babies, no. Real anything?
No.
No, if possible.
You can't get one close to Kristen Stewart. She'll attack it. Part of her
tear it
identity.
limb from limb with her teeth. With her mad wolf teeth.
It's happened so many times.
Yeah.
Can't stop it.
Well, that's just their method acting. No.
He wakes up. And, well, we didn't really explain that, did we?
No, there's another baby, and it's got Arnie's face on it. Kind of. As much as that thing can happen. And
it's got some things to scream.
Mama! Mama! Mama!
Ugh. Best bit of the movie.
Wonderful. Well, no, the best bit of the movie is the next morning, where we get a lovely shot of a jar of Arnie's piss.
Well, it was actually a very funny joke, I thought. So moving on, he's getting pregnant now, and he's
pregnant now, and they go back to the lab where they're still working with Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson has agreed to give them some space, because she felt bad for them being kicked out on her behalf because she's a nice person, but they have to be there basically for hilarity.
Oh yeah, they've got to be there.
Yeah,
but also I wonder how she's feeling about that egg that vanished from her very obviously full egg containment unit.
She's not in charge of the egg containment unit, Paul. The
one later revealed to be her egg.
Yeah, Paul, once you enter into a science, once you do a science with the man, you lose the rights to things like your ovaries.
I go weeks without looking at some of this shit. I think I had a dinosaur growing in here once. I haven't checked in on that in a while.
That Petri dish has entered the nuclear phase.
I just love science, but I'm so ditzy and I just move on.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul, there's a baby monkey!
Oh my
Settle
God.
down, kids!
I fucking love monkeys, Paul. We all love monkeys. There's a bit where Emma Thompson gives instructions to the humans to go away, and the monkey goes away as well.
It was very
what more
good.
do you
it's
need,
a good
Paul?
thing.
You had
It's on the list.
You had Possessor in your top 10. You had Wolfwalkers. It's basically the same thing.
It's very much the same, and those two are the same as each other.
Exactly.
It's all one. We are the universe.
Yeah,
Grain of
Bomb
sand,
Shanker.
butterfly wings, I Ching.
Oh, Christ.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Shang-Chi.
Emma Thompson wackily enters into a scene, knocking over a roller skater.
It is established how ditzy she is, Paul.
She's so ditzy. It's very, very well established how ditzy she is, and I love it. She comes in to accuse Arnie of abusing drugs.
Yeah.
You didn't want to raise those concerns when you noticed that he was built like a missile silo? Silo, probably.
Missile Solo.
Check out the missile solo in this latest track.
Look, there are many things to be concerned with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Unfortunately, he was negging everybody. Unfortunately, I have been negging everybody since the beginning of this scene. And Emma Thompson, she had to throw the Miss Universe competition because of that, and Arnie won that year. Incredibly.
He's unbelievable.
He's such a completionist.
But anyway, I don't know if he mentioned that Arnie's pregnant now, so he starts worrying about not having anything to wear like a woman would, maybe.
She was Daddy's little girl. Now he's giving her away. Oh, Larry, please take me with you. No, Larry, you don't understand. Please, listen to me. Pregnant and all alone. Oh, I have nothing to wear.
Yeah, he cries over a film and...
Oh no!
And he gets excited about vol-au-vents.
No, that's not Matt. Wait, Arnold Schwarzenegger, famous male.
famous male, and now he's a lady. Well,
I don't know what's going on, Paul.
He's got lady stuff going on inside of him, and he's got Franks in blankets, and it's exciting.
You're just sausage rolls.
They're sausage rolls.
Swansea banquet they go to. They go to a banquet to try and charm a bunch of guys into making their drug that the FDA didn't approve.
Who's the drug boys?
DeVito's doing some great business, but the bloody FDA regulating prescription medication. I hate them so much.
I hate them for what they've done to my job. And not to America.
I did decide to read into that joke for a bit and found that the FDA is criticised for over-regulation, under-regulation, and for actually being too easily influenced by Danny Devito types and Big Pharma. So, yay?
Yeah, it's a mess. Capitalism. It's a successful experiment, Paul. I think we can all agree.
But Thompson and Langella are now both attracted to Arnie because he's pregnant. That checks out.
You look so, I don't know, enthusiastic.
Yes, you do. You look positively lit up. What's the good news?
Radiant as fuck, as Frank Langella says.
God, he's radiant now. He's nuclear.
He's gone into space, Paul, and everybody can see him like a second sun. And basically everyone tries to fuck him.
Everyone wants to fuck him. It's the Lawnmower Man all over again.
That scene may or may not have happened in that film. So, in either of these films. So, he goes home. Danny DeVito is switched into sort of full man mode now. And he's like, you're always going on about this. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, he tells him, I want to keep the baby. And DeVito's not having any of that shit.
He's like, this is bullshit, mate.
Stop taking our dangerous experimental drug and let your massive body dissolve the embryo that's growing inside of you. Is the sensitive way that he puts that. Do that. Now I'm going to lock you away in this flat with all of the expectane you could ever need. But you do that. Don't take any more of it.
I
I'll
trust
just leave
you.
it here. I'm going to loosen the cap for you, but don't take any.
I trust you, you crazy emotional bitch.
Oh, I'm the crazy emotional bitch now. But he runs away, leaving Arnie to not take to continue to take the expectane, whatever the bad one is.
To take it. Oh God.
Don't take the expectane. It's what he doesn't do.
Well, that's what Danny DeVito told him to do. To not don't do it. And
yeah, and don't do what Danny DeVito does.
Don't do what Danny DeVito don't. And yeah, so he does, and he starts to show.
Yeah,
he's showing Paul, and he's edging.
Yeah, and DeVito gets on board eventually.
Yeah.
He takes him to, because Danny DeVito's a
obstetrician
person who looks after pregnant women. What was that one?
Obstetrician.
That sounds good, man. Go with that.
We'll go with that.
Not an optician, right? Definitely not an optician.
He is as well, but on Craigslist.
Side business.
Yeah.
Round the back. It's like, right, shh, he opens his coat and he's got an eye chart.
Yeah, like wait, you're gonna feel something cold in just a hot. Yep. Won't be long. Can you just read that chart behind my back?
Read the chart I've inserted into this vagina. What? No, you've done the worst thing you could possibly do in combining these two professions.
Now you cancelled both out.
Yeah, he puts Arnie in the waiting room and says, don't worry about him, he thinks he's pregnant. It's a delusion. And they say, oh, well, we'll humour the shit out of that. Great, come sit with us. What are you going to call it?
There's nothing to be afraid of. He thinks he's pregnant. It's a very fascinating case. I'm working in conjunction with the University Psychiatric Center. Autophysiological suggestion.
So, how far along are you?
21 weeks.
Is this your first?
Yes.
Oh. Have you thought of any names?
They genuinely think he's insane.
Oh, we have very, very different interpretations of that scene in this entire
How can you
movie.
interpret it? Danny DeVito literally tells them all he thinks he's pregnant, and all the women gather around to ask him what he's planning on calling it and what gender he thinks it is.
To me, that seemed like the natural goodwill sorority of women.
But they think he's crazy.
But it genuinely didn't seem that way in the scene. I love. Do you know what? As somebody who loves women, Paul, and respects them, yeah,
I hate them and I don't respect them. That's the issue. That's the issue we're having here. But speaking of people who don't respect anyone, the villainous FDA are onto them. Oh, are they the bad guys? I think they're the bad guys.
Well,
and
Frank Langella is onto them, and he's the university guy. He's like
but he's got a chair on the board. I think he's something to do with the FDA. He's got like a chair
Danny
of the board.
DeVito was trying to get the FDA to approve it, but Frank Langella is dean of the university, and he wants the glory for the university and all the moolah in the world and the kudos. So he's getting
kudos is a fantastic brand of sweet snack that everybody wants. Emma Thompson shows up in order to have a romantic sequence, by which she bends over and he stares at her tits.
Yeah,
and she says, "Hey, were you looking at my breasts? I was born in Austria. Oh, lovely! I was in Austria.
Oh, fantastic!
Wow." That went very well.
Beautiful place.
Very well indeed, because it turns into a romance sequence, and I think we need a name for this now, where one participant does most of the heavy lifting in a love scene. I feel like we should name it after Ularu, from Siberia.
Oh yeah, God.
So I think Thompson Ularu's Arnie.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Ularu's. Thompson Ularu's to the end of the scene when DeVito's wife shows up and Arnie and DeVito's wife connect.
Over some food that they don't eat, but they gather around them.
Do we see several scenes of them shoveling it into their mouth, and then
we see some scenes of them eating, but they also have a huge amount of food, which could have effectively been articulated with a huge amount of containers. It's a very minor point that I didn't even think worthy of including in the plot thing.
No.
I had literally nothing else to say on that scene.
But you know what, Paul? Ivan Reitman, at the end of that scene, he scooped it all into a bin and left it out for some orphans.
There you go, he says, putting down the bin.
There you go, Timmies.
DeVito, at this stage, decides that he's upset about the fact that his wife has been impregnated by a member of Aerosmith, which I think he learned 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But now he's upset about it.
He's been stewing over it.
He's been thinking about Aerosmith. We
and,
all have.
As we all have, and it never goes well. It always ends with resentment.
It does, but he's mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you really think the father was in the band Aerosmith? Yeah, you definitely said they were touring when I asked where the father is, and then when I said one of Aerosmith knocked you up, you said, nice phrase, Larry, which isn't a denial.
No.
Definitely clear what I thought. It's a minor point, but that all been mum.
Oh, you're being very negative, Larry. Oh, you pregnant people.
Totally irrational.
Can't just say that. Yeah, it's a fitness, it's their personal assistant. And anyway, the plot advances.
Yeah,
so,
the plot.
Oh, fuck. So
Thompson's realised that Arnie is obviously lying about his definitely fake backstory, which involved a village, I believe. But oh snap, that was Thompson's egg that I said earlier. Oh no!
Said earlier. Oh no, shit.
Shit.
So he runs away and never comes back until the next scene. And he confronts Danny DeVito and says, "Well,
that's right.
This is a nightmare now. It's her egg. Why didn't you tell me this?" And Danny DeVito goes, "I genuinely didn't give a fuck."
I still don't.
Don't obstetrician me of my legacy, mate.
Well, my baby's kicking. Do you want to feel it for a nice moment? Fuck you. But yes, and he does. And then there's some gay panic. Yay!
Yay, 90s.
Oh, no. I can't deal with this.
Can't deal with what?
What are you? What are you two, what are you, a twosome?
What? Whoa,
What is going on?
Take that, gender roles.
That's how you date a 90s movie.
It's like cutting it in half and counting the rings. It's you can tell exactly where this is from. Arnie tells Thompson that he's pregnant with her baby, and it goes down badly.
Yeah.
Oh, take that, gender roles.
Oh,
but Nixon also knows about the baby. FDA!
Or university. Whichever. Frank Langella figures it out by asking to go up and use the bathroom where the expectane has been left open for all to see.
For everyone.
And the next shot is, I think, Arnie going, he's pretty good. I'm worried. No, don't worry about it. Anyway.
It'll take him a bit of time to come up with the ultimate solution. Yeah, so Nixon now confronts them at the university. And Arnie says, my body, my choice for the trailer, and then pushes him over.
Yeah.
And runs Michael Shannon style out of the room.
You and your baby are university property now. No, I'm not. My body, my choice.
It's all very good. And then we have and then it's fucking half an hour of him being in this fucking clinic.
Yes, he goes to a clinic and dresses up like a woman, and I tense up.
When I was a sportswoman on the East German Olympic track and field team, they dispensed anabolic steroids as freely as here in America they don't at Gatorade.
This is the first time in the movie where I genuinely feel uncomfortable because I didn't know what they were going to do. Fortunately,
what are they gonna do?
The only reason I felt uncomfortable extended was because it was a crushingly sincere 20 minutes. I couldn't handle that kind of thing. No. I can't process that.
Well, hey.
Not since Nam.
One of the receptionists is Walter White's wife,
yes.
which I appreciate.
Which is great.
That was enjoyable.
Took
we
me
all appreciate that.
Took me 2 minutes to Google to figure all of that out, and we were 2 minutes further in the movie.
Yeah, Oscar-nominated original song "Look What Love Has Done to Us" by Patti Smith plays over a montage of Arnie doing some lady stuff and Thompson looking sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aww. We'll get behind that.
I think so.
Yeah, there's some actual good stuff being said about maternal instincts and unconventional mothers, and they fade that shit out.
You know, I think we have to dispense right now with the myth that some are born with the maternal instinct and others are not. The little girl tending her dog collection is no more a natural-born mother than the tomboy down the street. There is no standard. There are no naturals. There's just one.
Because Emma Thompson's here!
Yay.
And she's over it enough for them to have sex.
Yeah, she's commanding the scene and the sex. And the need for sex. So, yeah, gender roles, there you go. And she's wearing trousers, Paul. I don't really mention this actually. Emma Thompson's wearing trousers.
All the way through until the end, where she accepts her rightful place.
Resolution. Yeah.
DeVito signs a lucrative deal with a company big enough to get his drug approved by the FDA. I don't like this. This seems bad. But oh shit, Arnie's giving birth now.
Yeah.
DeVito organizes a slapdash cesarean. Sounds great. I can't wait for this. And yeah, Thompson and Nixon rush to the hospital. Nixon gets fired thanks to an obvious ruse. That there must have been other shit. There's no way that was the first and last thing that got him fired. He must have been unbearable in some way that we don't get to see.
Just history of sexual abuse, racism, and taking his bum out.
So taking her out like a fucking clothesline.
I said taking his bum out, but...
Oh, taking his bum out? It sounded like you did taking his mum out. I thought it was a cute non sequitur at the end.
Hey, he's a fucking great guy. He takes his mother out for dinner every
takes
Tuesday.
Right the fuck out.
But then he gets his bum out. And
every Friday.
Insane.
He keeps it as far away as possible from Mum Day so he don't get him mixed up.
He's a horrible man.
Oh, yeah, they get him into the place and DeVito says his baby's probably tangled in his large intestine, which is a lovely image. McDonald's soon, kids.
His muscly large intestine.
His intestines are so muscular. Wait, you didn't skip Guts Day.
Everybody skipped Guts Day.
He gives birth.
He gives birth. And Danny DeVito's wife gives birth.
Ah, is it a terrifying 90s effect? Nah, it's not. You're okay.
Thank
God.
Could we do that? It's unfortunately no. They're out of CGI. They used it all on the first face.
We're run out of CGI. They're banging on the bottle. They got nothing. But everybody neatly sorts themselves into cis-hetero family units. Indicated by Thompson cutting off most of her crazy hair and getting pregnant normally, and Arnie lifting a heavy thing for her benefit. And everyone gets to live happily ever after.
Helping out a pregnant lady. And Paul, this film, in that lift, it said a lesbian couple, the non-pregnant one, would do the lifting as well. I'm Ivan Reitman. I've been here all week, and I will be next week as well, but that's as far as they'll allow it.
I like to do a disappointing follow-up, followed by nothing. So, that was fucking Junior or Twins or something.
Yeah.
One of them.
I reckon.
What do you make of it?
Oh, look.
Good it sounds.
It's a very, very 90s looking feel, isn't it? You'd be able to pin the decade in 1 second of film, or 1 inch of the score.
Exactly what I wanted to say early on is that, very early on it got me on board with the 90s nostalgia days that happened. The old Universal logo, James Newton Howard music.
Yes.
Middle-aged Arnie, Matilda-era DeVito, San Francisco. I don't know, just some sort of approach to color temperature and maybe even film stock that just subtly programmed me to feel cozy and safe. And that did come back now and then.
Yeah, that palette is really something. It's so wan and yet comforting at the same time.
You could genuinely interchange shots with this and Mrs. Doubtfire, I think, and unless Robin Williams or Arnie is there, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Pierce Brosnan, he's probably in the background somewhere.
Which one was he in? Both, I think. I think he played Bean Mum.
I think both. So, I mean, speaking of programming, Arnie does look like pre-activation Killbot in this when he's wearing his glasses, and it's just you want the glasses just make him look like the bad guy, the second in command in Drunken Master 2. You know, the one who's very neat and tidy, and he's very tall, and he's very good at kicks. It just looks like him, and so it's not the most natural of performances or casting choices, but it never is when you get Arnie.
No, it isn't. It's a low-key Arnie performance you get this time, which has its merits.
I've got to say, yeah, when he does start getting in touch with his feminine side, it's amusing most of the time.
He's quite good at little comedy. He's got a good oh shit face.
Yes.
Like, oh shit. And he's quite good at sort of whipping that out when he needs to, even in like little moments.
There are many little moments there. There's one where he's just sitting there smiling to himself when after Danny DeVito said, "Oh, he's insane." He thinks that he's having a baby at the collaborating with the psychiatric unit, and he does the the twirly finger thing, which is great. It just cuts to him. It's very quiet, and he just smiles to himself as if to say that nothing's going to go wrong, and it's a beautiful face. Or when he's horny and trying to like contain his horniness, and he's like jostling in his seat like a cat who knows he's going to get fed.
It demonstrates a self-awareness over his face muscles that I did not necessarily assume that Arnie had, based on things like Kindergarten Cop.
Yes, so loads of really surprisingly funny moments from Arnie there. Overall, I'll probably. It seems like you're going to have more to say criticism-wise. Or I don't know. Maybe you're just joking or like exaggerating for comedic effect. But
maybe I'm just eking it out for tension. Maybe I'm about to come in with a 5-minute long slam on this fucking thing.
Yeah, this is why you're wrong, Paul. So, overall, it had its niggles. For a 2-hour movie, they really could have done more to work on the DeVito and wife's relationship, because at the end the resolution feels really forced.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I don't need the Aerosmith guy. Oh, good.
In comes Danny.
That's how I got Rhea Perlman.
Stop speaking, Danny DeVito. I was about to say Danny DeVito don't, but that doesn't work at all. It's just mean.
I like it. Dalla DeVito'd.
None of that's my name.
Anything you can say, I can make less coherent.
Anything you can say, I can make them.
Oh, fuck me. I mean, yeah, the actual movie, I liked the idea. Or there's an idea in here that I like, I should more accurately say. A quiet, cold, uncommunicative, communicative,
easy for you to
and very easy for me to say, and very closed-off academic-style man.
Yeah,
who I guess is also an Austrian bodybuilder as well. As well as that. Yeah. You know the type. You know the studious, fastidious professor types who are also bodybuilders.
I've been made aware of one or two of them.
We all know one. It's the same one. He finds himself pregnant and as a result is forced to become more sensitive, appreciate life more, open up to others. Not entirely sure that's what happens when you get pregnant, but hormones, so anything you want.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's a mallet of a message, isn't it? Because it has the positivity there. This alpha male need to embrace femininity to move forward and develop into a well-rounded person, but he's also mincing around.
Yes. Well, that's exactly the problem. The movie wants to do two things with this.
Yeah.
One, tell a sincere story about how parenthood can change people, with also a commentary on gender roles, specifically what men can learn from the conventionally female experience.
Yes.
Two, get laughs out of a large Austrian man being pregnant and doing lady stuff.
Yes.
Does my body disgust you?
Feel how soft my skin is.
And there is the risk that the latter will undermine the former.
It is only slightly jarring, and it's because it's well-intentioned, good intentions that I'm willing to overlook like the more egregious stuff. But there'll be a joke about Arnie not being invited anywhere by Danny DeVito, and then he'll say, "I'm just feeling really isolated and alone." Oh,
yeah, but then also skipping through a field, daisies around. It's tricky. It's
whiplash.
Sometimes a bit like The Big Bang Theory, which is less a championing of nerd culture that it portrays, a more mean-spirited freak show and shit. Yeah. So come look at the nerds and their lack of conventional masculine traits, except misogyny. They still got that. Lol.
Yeah. You like The Big Bang Theory, Paul. It's smart.
So there's a risk of that going on. There's a risk of, haha, look at Arnie. Yeah. He's learned to connect to his sensitive side, but he's picking flowers. But for the most part, the movie isn't making those jokes, or at least I don't think they are. No. Either the film is bad at making those jokes, or it isn't making them and I'm the monster. So I haven't decided which.
It feels like good-natured ribbing.
Ebert took it sincerely, so...
Yeah. I did. I ultimately, the film felt like it had a lot of understanding there, and it was just really positive vibes throughout.
It was fairly... I would say it's fairly cliched, its approach to what Arnie actually learns. I mean, even if it's entirely right on, it's fairly bland. It's pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
It has good moments and a couple of laughs. Nothing revolutionary.
Yeah.
The character change that Arnie goes through is a bit sudden. It's kind of just asshole robot T-1000 to look how beautiful everything is. And I'm not quite sure what the revelation ultimately comes to. Just relax a bit, open up, have a family.
Yeah.
And that's a thing too, because it is pleasingly sort of genderqueer to see a big muscular 80s action icon with a big old baby bump and wearing a dress. That's great. But it is pretty conservative come the end. It does split everyone into these family units and, sort of it have a conventional kind of dynamic going on come the end.
I guess as a 90s, what would the equivalent be in this movie today? Because it feels like it was right on for the time, and it's the conservative nature of it is just because that's a boundary that they were trying to step at the time.
I think it's just how I think it was more of just a concession to what they believed to be normality. You know, I mean, the contrivance that this is actually Emma Thompson's baby and that he and the mother are going to form a parental relationship at the end, you know, and the fact that throughout the film they're developing this drug and their stated reason is to make women pregnant, not to help transgender people get pregnant or help lesbians, you know, it's for primarily straight women.
I mean, the transgender discussions just not even being had in the 90s, really, in the mainstream.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's a product of its time, but reviewing it now, you know, well, these are the attitudes that are in play.
Yeah, sure.
You know, very much the attitudes of the 90s. There's a wonderful example of this, what I saw described as the primacy of sort of male well-being, where it's not quite fair, but Arnie is giving birth. Bean Mum is giving birth. Arnie is whisked into an operating table. Yeah. Bean Mum is left on a fucking chair with Emma Thompson, who's barely paying attention to her.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't going into labour at the time when she was left there.
I think she was like panting and doing breathing exercises to Emma Thompson.
But she was putting it on as they were wheeling her into the hospital, pretending that she was actually going into...
Yeah, but then in the waiting room, they do breathing exercises together and she starts like freaking out.
Oh, yeah. But they don't just leave her there thinking that she's about to give birth.
They just don't interrupt the Arnie surgery. Yeah, there's that stuff going on, but it's endearing, I think. Endearing performances. Yeah. Everyone's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
3 stars sounds about right to me. It's the lowest good score I can give. 2 stars is the highest bad score. 3 is the lowest good score. That's what I give. It's 3 stars.
Yeah, 3. I think 3 stars sounds about right. I said that about 40 minutes ago as well, and I'm glad that I at least have had no arc in this episode.
Michael DeQuino over at the Movie Report kind of summed it up for me. He said, cute, amusing, never hilarious. I think I'd pretty much go along with that. And it's too long.
Too long. It doesn't need to be 2 hours long.
Nothing needs to be 2 hours long.
Not even Fanny and Alexander.
No.
Quick, a tight 90.
I'm going to start agreeing with my mother, who complains that everything's too long. Even 90-minute movies, she will argue, the box was wrong. This is never 90 minutes. We've been here for 3 hours. It's like, you keep pausing it. You keep pausing it to go do shit. You can't argue with a clock. Look, I'll get the thing up.
Yeah, but if your mum just stopped playing The Witcher 3, she'd have so much more free time.
Really would. I will say, I'm a little disappointed that it's fine. I would have loved this to have been bafflingly terrible or surprisingly great. But there's worse things to be than fine.
Yes, and when I was watching this yesterday and it was fine, I was getting nervous because I thought, oh God, does Paul think that this is bigotry and I'm missing something here?
You're vastly overestimating the amount of research I do before I pick a film.
That's good to know moving forward.
It had a funny poster, mate.
It had a funny poster, and I was saying to everybody all week, because I tell everybody what I do now.
You wear that shirt.
And I said, you know, the premise was, imagine if Arnie was pregnant. And that's what you get from the poster. And there was actually more than that in the movie.
It was surprisingly more than that. And it was an earnest attempt to turn a dumb premise into something more. The extent to which they succeeded, I would debate, but the attempt was definitely there to make a sincere movie about Arnie getting pregnant, I think.
Yeah.
Again,
sincere,
I'm not sure to
movie.
the extent to which some of this was meant to be laughed at.
Yeah.
We'll get to some of that in my quickfire. Some of the scenes I'm like, this was a really genuinely great moment. Or they're monsters.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to that. What do you reckon the chances of doing quickfire and one editing in the next 12 minutes are?
Well, fuck it. Let's fucking try it, mate. I'll go quick.
A red hot go.
Genuine quickfire. Quickfire. Arnie in glasses and a suit is fucking hot. I like a svelte academic. And then I enjoyed his first line, "There's a baby here."
There's a baby here.
Yeah.
There are many of those lines in this movie. Is it, I'm going back to Europe to start over.
Going back to Europe to start over.
Over. Yes, I heard that, actually. I nearly wrote that down.
Invasive human protocol. It's very good. Stop saying that. No one's ever going to buy your drug for women.
Buy it. Okay.
All right. Well, Danny DeVito is very charming. I liked him very much in this. At the beginning, his wife, just a lady, says,
I'm ready to explode.
Oh, not here, you're not.
Nice.
Yeah.
Conversational way. Good.
Yes. That was a cute doctor line. I was like, oh, something sleazy going to happen? No, he's going to be Danny DeVito in that kind of way. Speaking of people just being who they are, as Arnie is explaining Expectane, I am just really comparing it to his rundown of the history of Cyberdyne becoming self-aware in my head. I kept thinking about it.
Yes. I also did. It's because he kept using words like protocol.
Yeah,
protocol.
fuck. Become self-aware. That was quite a minor point, so I'll just tack on. Yeah. I love the fact that the sperm bank has some big old porn videos.
Fuck yeah, some really busty looking 90s ladies.
Yeah, and just pink, purpley, big, thick, spined VHS tapes. And I love that.
And Emma Thompson's entrance.
Rewinding. Fast
just
forwarding.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him ever. You need a separate VCR for every single one of them.
This guy didn't rewind afterwards. I'm going to know exactly where he climaxed.
Is that the back of my head? So I like the thought with Emma Thompson's entrance. She jumps on top of her trolley of eggs and goes down a ramp.
Whoa!
Yeah, goes down a ramp into the thing and lands on Arnie. I liked the idea that she was on top of that and a crew were pushing her around. But then when she falls on Arnie, she's kissing him to say thanks, and the resulting death stare and "get off me" is fucking amazing. It was the first moment of true hilarity in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
That's not necessary. Get off me.
Sorry.
I would say generally Thompson is really great in this and has great physicality. I love her random smiles, and she also spends quite a bit of time moving her very large amount of hair around, and that that's a good thing that I enjoy.
Diana.
Yes.
Well,
it's
hi.
me. Hello. Someone gave me these papers for you from the lab.
Thank you. Who?
I'm lying. I just wanted to see you.
Come in, please.
Thank you. I'm sorry I lied.
Emma Thompson's amazing in this. I really liked her. She's just
she's
so
very
charming.
Yeah.
Oh, we both said charming. Okay, Paul.
No.
On I'm going to count down from 3. On 0, we say a word, and if it's the same word,
okay, but
we know.
No, what we're going to do is on 0, we're going to say the word to describe Frank Langella in this movie, which is my next good thing. So, okay. 3, 2, 1.
Dapper.
Shit, I didn't think of one. Sorry, Dapper's good. I like Dapper. I'm trying to think of something like hot or sexy, and I couldn't think of something dirty enough.
I went for accurate instead of look. My face does keep disappearing for Danny and being replaced by Danny DeVito, so I understand why you were stifled.
It's very hard to concentrate on anything right now, but I liked Frank Langella in this. He played the asshole stooge really well.
You know, we're in this together now. We have a contract, and I quote, "Exploitation of results from university-funded research shall be at the sole discretion of the university." Now, you come on. I've ordered some tests.
Yes, he did. I really enjoyed him.
Yeah.
He's menacing. Could mostly be his height and his eyes, his dark devil eyes. Emma Thompson, so many moments. Her pronunciation, the accent, the delivery of a lot of lines. Oh, have you heard of it? No. When she just throws her hands up and goes, "Yeasts!"
Crippling cramps, raging hormones, yeast.
Talking about the travails of womanhood. There's a scene when they're eating the pigs in blankets, when she's eating the sausage rolls with Arnie, and she delivers multiple lines with a mouthful of half-chewed sausage roll. It's all charming and beautiful, all of it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, she's just such a wonderful presence in this movie.
Love that. San Francisco looks lovely. I'll say that. It just looks great. It looks very 90s, and I really enjoy it. The hills, the buildings, the architecture. It's a gorgeous place, and it was well filmed in this, as it was in also Mrs. Doubtfire and presumably other 90s comedies. Go.
Yes. When DeVito's trying to convince Arnie to stay, he's packing up his house, and they're having this conversation. He says, something like, "I like you," and Arnie says, "No one likes me," and then it cuts to the airport, suggesting that they travelled together all the way to the airport with Danny DeVito continuously talking to him, which is very funny.
That's good stuff. Speaking of that sequence, I really enjoyed the culminating line, Danny DeVito saying,
"Come and claim your place in the pantheon."
You're manipulating me. Of course I am. And so what? Yeah. I think the line from Emma Thompson, I think Dr. Hess blames me for the loss of his facility. There's a lip bite and she's just jabbing herself nervously in the chest with a pencil.
Yes, she's got good... I really liked her hunching in that sequence because she's talking to Danny DeVito and she is slightly stooped, but it came over in a nice sort of slovenly way that I enjoyed.
Yes.
Baby monkey! Oh! Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Baby monkey! And yes, I also had the moment that you described earlier where the monkey is told to go away and it gets down like a...
And it goes away like people.
He goes away like people, and it's very good.
It goes away like I wish people would. Well, speaking of, when they're having that conversation where Arnie confesses to stealing her egg and impregnating himself, all the staff are listening in, and Emma Thompson goes, "Guys, do you mind?" And they all walk off. And they walk a few meters away, and then Arnie goes, "I'm pregnant."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arnie. It's hard to have discreet conversations with you. What are you talking about? I really enjoyed the nipple chat.
Yes.
My nipples, they feel like kind of tingling.
Like tingling, like sore, or like itchy?
You surf?
Huh?
Surf. Because I got that a lot from paddling out. It's something about the wax in the salt water. It irritates them.
You get what?
His nipples are tingling.
I don't surf.
It could be your laundry detergent. I used to get that when I used a non-biodegradable soap.
Where he says that he opens up and everyone's just fine with it. But I don't know the extent to which I was meant to be enjoying that sequence or meant to be laughing at it because of how open everyone is about their nipples. Another instance of a bit of both. Why not? Yeah. But in theory, if it's not a comedy sequence, I like the idea of just, "Hey everyone, I'm having trouble with my nipples." Oh, okay, well, here's what I've noticed about my nipples.
All it takes. I found this at work. I'm usually pretty honest about like issues that I have, and as soon as I say something weird about my body, there's always somebody in the room that goes, "Oh, I have that," and somebody goes, "Oh, brilliant! I can talk about my weird butt."
Did my balls smell funny to you?
They smell like my balls. Amazing.
You rub them together, and a genie comes out. Oh boy! What next?
Jewel ball genies. And we high five, and now we're married.
Jewel boy or genie.
Look, yeah, Baby Arnie is thoroughly awful and potentially the best thing I've ever seen. What's your next one?
Very unsettling. The pastry hounds bit where he says something like Strudelhund.
Yeah.
And Danny DeVito says, "Yeah, pastry hounds." That felt somewhat improvised by DeVito, including the following line of, that's what they call them there. Yeah, which I enjoyed. I thought that was good. And also implies that Danny DeVito knows what strudel is, which is a minor point, but I enjoyed it. He's a well-travelled man. That's important. He was the original travel man, and then Richard Ayoade ate him. And some say he's still in there though, wanting to fight his way out. I went on a gustatory journey, by which I mean I ate Danny DeVito piece by piece. Do you know there's going to be a sequel to Twins, where Eddie Murphy showed up as the third twin? It's going to be called Triplets. Oh, God, I'm glad that wasn't a thing. Glad that didn't happen ever. Thank God. Where Emma Thompson shows up at Arnie's or Danny DeVito's house and says to Arnie, "Oh, someone wanted me to bring these papers to you." Who? And then the development of Emma Thompson's expression up until she confesses she was lying and just wanted to see him was stunning. It was very dynamic. It made me pay attention more when I was like, "Wait, what's happening? Is she broken?" Yeah. She really played with my sort of expectation there. Speaking of which, and something I'll come to in a moment, I accidentally ended up watching this twice. But the first time I watched it, obviously there's the reveal of the toilet roll on her shoe. Yeah. The second time I watched it, I noticed that toilet roll is there the entire time she's in that scene. Ah. She has toilet roll on the heel of her shoe throughout the entire thing, which kind of makes me wish that they had not drawn attention to it. Very much like my next one, which is the lobster claw thing. We open a scene on a lobster claw being removed from somebody's table, and it then gets brought back to Emma Thompson's table. I kind of wish that could have just been a background detail, rather than the sort of subsequent focus of the scene. Because I love the idea that whenever you start a sequence of Emma Thompson, something has already gone wrong before before the scene started, and you kind of see a little bit of the aftermath. Like, maybe every time you cut to, there's just someone being helped up in the background.
Isn't it? They do it a second time, and they're mid conversation, and Arnie goes, "Thank you," and then just carries on.
I don't. Is it the shoe?
I think a waiter brings something else back, and puts it on Arnie's side. That. But I'm gonna have to watch it a third time, mate.
Oh fuck! Triplets.
Shit.
We
try to avoid Eddie Murphy at every stage, and sometimes you just can't. Sometimes he's just gonna be there to make you feel uncomfortable. In the same scene, well, as my last quickfire in Danny DeVito's house.
Good.
They're talking about a connection they feel they have, and Emma Thompson goes, "Do you believe in reincarnation?" No, neither do I. So it can't be that. It's a very bottom line.
That's cute. I missed that. Yeah. I missed that both times. That's good.
It felt like something Rick Mayall would say in Bottom.
Yeah, there's a lot of Rick Mayall energy going on in her performance, and I really appreciated that.
Oh yeah.
At some point, a birthday cake gets served to Arnie. What are you doing? Stop playing with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm sorry, my hand's doing weird things to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry. This display novelty idea for me is...
It's awful.
It's chaos.
This is the worst. It's sheer chaos. You've got... Every so often I look up and see Arnie hunched over you and think that Nell has come to do something, like to get something from the background. And then I look and expect to see Nell and see Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Christ. What's next week?
The one with Jet Li. You could get Jason Statham back there.
I'm going to put more effort into it next week. Just you wait.
I hate you. Oh, fuck, man. It's going to be animated. But only sometimes. It's on like a 4-hour loop and like just Jason Statham winks once in the second hour.
I think you're great, Paul. Oh, thanks, Jace.
Fucking hate them.
Continue with your quickfire, sir.
There's a nice looking homemade birthday cake that gets served to Arnie. It's completely unrisen, flat as shit, too much frosting, and whilst lines are being delivered, Emma Thompson gets distracted because the monkey tries to take some of it and she has to push him back, which is a very natural moment, so I like that. Yeah.
It's a very natural monkey.
Yeah. Natural monkey, man, you sent.
The nightmare-scape of Larry's wife being presented with a grown-ass man, actual pregnant belly, and the same height, the smiling visage of Danny DeVito. It's Cthulhu levels.
I had 2 laughs in this movie, 2 out-loud laughs. The rest of the time I just thought, that was funny, and then wrote it down. 2 out-loud laughs was Arnold Schwarzenegger say, "I'm going to be a mama too," and then lifting up his shirt, the inspirational music swells, pan down to stomach, and then pan right to reveal Danny DeVito's smiling face. It was pretty wonderful.
I'm going to be a mama too.
Oh, God. She's lucky she only passed out. She could have lost her soul.
Okay, the next one is my other one, which is I did laugh at the Look What Love Has Done to Us montage. Specifically, it's been going for a while. We keep cutting back to Arnie, and he's doing more stuff. But when it cuts to him in a song circle singing Hallelujah, I think I was just a little bit giddy and delirious from how long the sequence had been going on for, and I just couldn't help myself and started laughing.
In that montage, first off, actually, the positivity of the clinic workers throughout that sequence, not just the montage, I really enjoyed. And I
really loved the speech they faded out. That was really good. No one's born a mother, that's good stuff.
Yeah, that was sweet enough. They didn't need to include the whole thing or figure out how it was going to end.
It turned really fucking nasty near the end. Just, no one is born a mother. Everybody must accept that responsibility as it comes to them, except blacks.
Yeah.
Just faded out. Wait, what? What was that? Nothing.
Listen to the beautiful song. The song in your ears about babies.
The Oscar-nominated song.
Yeah. In that montage, though, he's like training with a doll. And the way he slaps the doll into the nappy on the table is like he's just slamming down a huge fucking sausage and getting ready to cut chunks out of it. It was great, that sound effect.
I like the line,
just because you're in some guy doesn't make you the mother.
That's nicely incomprehensible.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Enjoy that context-heavy line.
Yeah. Nearing the end now. I've got 2 more things. When Bean Mom is getting ready to give birth, Danny DeVito's going, "Oh, you want it natural, right? You want it natural." And she just cuts him off with,
Winding up a door. You want natural child.
Drugs, Larry, drugs!
Yeah.
which
that was quite good. She earlier on screamed drugs at Emma Thompson, so it was like a callback when she was going into labour in the waiting room. Speaking of which, before that, when Langella is sort of espousing to the cameras he's gathered around to welcome the first pregnant man ever to the station, to the hospital, university, whatever, he says, "I'm here with so-and-so from the university," and it's this superior that he's called in. And the guy, I didn't notice this first time, the guy just sort of subtly steps away from him out of frame.
Yes.
That was very good. I enjoyed that. And as an add-on, DeVito telling Thompson that this is a dangerous procedure and she needs to stay outside felt very sincere, and I like that.
Aw, that's good. Well, my final one then is you don't see goop and blood very often in movies about childbirth. The baby comes out and it's got all kinds of shit on its face and head. And,
and it looks like a fucking movie monster. It just comes up going...
yeah, the miracle of childbirth.
Just horrified at the world around it.
Yeah, fuck. And he's only seen Danny DeVito so far. So.
It's only going to get worse from here, kid.
Oh, Christ. So, yeah, appreciated that. Thanks, movie.
I liked Arnie licking cake off of a baby's foot. Does that shit. It's very weird. I don't know who they had to sign what to get clearance for that to happen.
Like a dad could do that to his own kid.
Like a dad... Yeah, exactly. But Arnie's doing it to presumably a stage child. And I enjoyed that.
Now.
So I guess my last thing is the movie ended, and I just wanted to clarify something in the scene where DeVito first recruits Arnie. And it was about midnight at this stage.
Yeah.
So I went back to the scene, which is very early on, and I had some more work to do, so I just let it run, and it ran to the end. Not because I wanted to watch it again, but because I didn't feel the need to stop it.
Yeah.
And I think that's high praise amongst films that we've covered on OGT.
I think
it was pleasant enough to just kind of keep on. So I basically double billed this with itself with no massive impact on my mental well-being. I think that's high praise indeed.
That is stunning, Paul. That is put that on the DVD. Scratch it into the disc.
Okay, OG team. What have they got to say for themselves?
What have these absolute tramps got to say for themselves? Blokebusters at the OG team said, well, let's see. Emma Thompson is always a win. Arnie actually managed to do a good job at being pregnant without taking the piss. And at Danny DeVito never brings anything except his A game.
Yeah, definitely.
That nightmare, though, I need a DeVito hug after that.
No.
And then there's
it was unsettling. What was the significance of the fact that the nurse was incredibly beautiful? Like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, that was a curious detail.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to cast a hot woman in a movie so that dads will watch it.
Sometimes. Hey, they're underrepresented in Hollywood. I've said it all the time.
He continues, basically what I'm saying is that the film cast is solid. The premise was just so bizarre that people really wrote it off without giving it a chance. It's a solid Schwarzenegger comedy, and he's added Arnie as well. Hopefully they'll listen to this. If you're listening, Arnold and Daniel, it's
Governor.
It's an honor. Yeah,
it is an honor. Thank you very much, both. We hope that you'll continue to listen. And join our Patreon. Yes, the qualifier Schwarzenegger comedy is interesting in that, a solid Schwarzenegger comedy. It's different from saying it's a solid comedy. And I haven't seen many of the others. I think I saw Kindergarten Cop, and I've seen Jingle All the Way.
But
I think that might be it. Ooh. But I'd be willing to say it's the best of the ones I've seen.
This is definitely the best of the ones I've seen, yeah.
Actually, I might prefer Jingle All the Way.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, for my own dumb reasons. It's not a better movie. I'll concede that right off the bat, but...
That's all I needed.
Hey, childhood.
Martin Gardner says, ooh, tough one. Oh, you failed in the basic premise there, Martin. Get down and give me 20.
Did he not subsequently proceed to give her one good thing? Did he just say, oh,
no,
tough
he did not. He said tough one.
Oh, shit.
Maybe he said the film was a tough one. Like a tough one.
Oh, yeah. Hey, sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow.
It's true. Gender roles.
Or...
okay. Moving over onto Facebook. We also asked the OG team.
We did, and somebody sent an essay.
Somebody did. Oh, it's Jen Blundell.
Jen Bloody Blundell, as I like to call her.
I'm going to move this on.
And she loves being called. I think you should all do it.
Jen motherfucking Ho-Train Blundell.
Motherfucking Blundell.
So, seeing that you were about to review this, I decided to give it a rewatch too. setting aside the dash of standard 1990s homophobia, there was a lot I liked. DeVito and Arnie's whole dynamic, Emma Thompson flapping a teabag around whilst talking to some colleagues. There's great chimps. That they actually show Arnie abashedly holding his little test tube of spunk. It's nice to feel trusted by the film not to freak out at the sight of it. That's true, actually.
I did, but I also kind of enjoyed that.
I freaked out in a positive way. DeVito's moments of vulnerability talking about his own fertility problems. Emma Thompson's rant about women's pains, highly relatable. Arnie, that was Jen's comment, not me. I do feel pain too. Therefore,
we're getting old.
Arnie breaking his falsetto to shout, "Oh shit!" I'm sorry, I've got to move on, Paul. I can't acknowledge your comment. We've got so much to get through from Jen Blundell.
I quite like the "oh shit," but it was a bit much before. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Took me back. Thompson and Arnie having a strong pansexual moment as they get it on at the pregnancy camp. Arnie being allowed to be feminine, emotional, and vulnerable and have a connection with his baby. I particularly like that this doesn't get made fun of at any point. Yep. Arnie's hot dad bod. For what is meant to be a comedy, it handles some sensitive themes surprisingly well, and it's strange and good how little of the premise seems weird as a concept now, even if the technology isn't there yet. Isn't there yet? Exactly. Dad writes for dads.
Someday we will achieve the pinnacle of human civilization and put Arnie's face on a baby.
All in all, I genuinely enjoyed watching this. I laughed out loud a few times. I liked the characters and their arcs, and the 90s nostalgia was like a long-needed hug. And there's a reply. Oh, it is Jen. Jen's replied, I had to go back and edit this several times because I kept thinking of other good things. And there are so many good things there, Jemathan.
Yeah, good stuff. Love that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really glad you had such a good time with the movie. I did for the most part as well. The only issue was the times when you said, oh, they did this without making fun of it. You know, the extent to which they were not making fun of it and simply portraying it is something that I'm unsure of. And I'd have been curious to see this with a 1994 audience and a 2020 audience, just to... Not 21, not at all. Last year's audience I want to see it with. Just to see how the laughs differ, because there is a possibility that maybe some of it was portrayed as being, silly, whereas now we take it as given that these things are fine. But maybe not, I don't know.
If for me, at its worst, it was maybe just lazily poking, like trying to make some jokes about it, and
a little
just not very effectively. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with most of that. Very, very fun movie.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Well, no, that's it. Thanks, OGT.
Thanks, OG team. Let's do the one better thing in literally 3 minutes. The one better thing.
Knocked Up is a great pregnancy comedy. Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl share a disappointing night together, and the result is pregnancy. Seth Rogen has to start taking better care of his life and himself, and the pair have to learn to be as ready as they can be for parenthood. It has 6.9 on IMDb, nice, and is one of Apatow's and Rogen's best. Seth Rogen especially. And this has really surprising, biting black comedy and a little heart in there for good measure.
Well, I had to think about some of the Muscle Men movies because I wanted a movie that has a large man portrayed sensitively. And unfortunately, there aren't many good ones of those. There's a lot of them. A lot of Dave Bautista, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Vin Diesel even. There's a lot of shit out there, but it's not been my sort of thing. And so what I ended up coming back to was something I could have sworn I've spoken about at some point in this podcast before. It's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the TV show. I have talked about it. Well, I don't think I've talked about it specifically in relation to the character of Terry Jeffords, played by Terry Crews, who is a very large man, action star, who portrays a character who is very complex and not in a traditionally sort of masculine way. He's a family man, but not as the breadwinner. He's very sensitive. He occasionally just takes his shirt off and dances around till sisters are doing it for themselves, which is great.
Okay.
He's sweet-natured in a lot of his in a lot of the show, and the show is quite good at breaking down traditional gender roles anyway. Has very positive and non-stereotypical portrayals of women and gay people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the character of Terry also goes that in suggesting you can have a strong person who's all the stronger for their awareness of their own emotions and such. And I think that's pretty great.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's the one better thing. The one better thing. Paul, how can people find out about OGT Pod as I've come to know it and love it?
You know all the fucking places, you clowns. What are you doing listening to this? Let's move on to the next bit. OGT Pod and all the places. We've got a Patreon, right? For as little as $1 a month. $1 a month. That's not even a full coffee. Unless you're in China, to get access to exclusive content such as a sneak peek preview uncut thing of our Texas Chainsaw Massacre series for Halloween.
Uncut thing?
Yeah, I've stopped thinking about what I'm going to say in that and just go with whatever feels good. And it felt good.
Fuck yeah. Get a load of my uncut thing, bitches.
Fuck yeah.
God, that seems way too aggressive. That's meant to be playful. was kind of anti-Semitic as well, I think.
Yeah, with what you said and how you said it, but we can,
I regret all of this.
We can learn, and we will learn, and we're learning every day
learn,
on Patreon.
And you can help us learn by giving us money.
Yeah. Other than that,
so long.
So long and so well.
So well. I'm Paul Sowell.
I'm so Paul Well.
Remember, the one good thing about Junior is it's way more pleasant than the poster implied it was going to be.